Welcome to Bed Crime Stories podcast. I'm your host, T, and if true crime is your jam, and like me, you enjoy delving into unsolved cases, trying to figure out who done it, please consider subscribing. Also, if you find value in my content, please hit that like button. Happy Tuesday, my true crime aficionados. I hope you're having a good one. All I can say at this point is, who isn't lying in the Summer Wells case? We know that Don and Candace are skilled liars. We've seen them in action lying. Well, it appears once again that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, meaning Candace is a partial product of her mother, Candy Har's genetics and rearing, and Candy Har is also a fibber. It appears that Candy Har may be once again playing a game wherein she does actually communicate with an outsider, someone outside the threesome, Candace, Don, and herself, and then when that outsider tells the public about the communications and what Har has confided, Candy Har denies it all. The question is why? Why would Candy Har confide in new friends made during this 11-month period in which her granddaughter has been missing, and then when the so-called friend exposes the communication, why does she deny that it ever happened? When Emma of Crime Stories Obsessed released text messages from her communications with the actual Candy Har, and I say actual Har because Emma showed us how she logged into her Facebook account and arrived at the messages. Har denied it and told Don and Candace it wasn't true and that someone must have hacked into her account. Is Har afraid of Don and Candace? Is she so isolated at this point that she needs someone, even a newly acquired friend from Facebook, to confide in? Is she looking for a new girlfriend and hoping maybe these new YouTube buddies could be the one? Sorry, but I'm wondering what's going on. The word on the YouTube street is that Jessica may have been communicating with the real Candy Har. Although let me make it clear once again, Jessica hasn't shown actual proof of that, which she should do, because that would end all the doubt. And it appears that Har has also been talking to Queen Bee and Susan Ross. So why is Candy Har talking to Jessica, but then telling Queen Bee and this Susan Ross that she hasn't been? Is it for the same reasons she did that to Emma of Crime Stories Obsessed? Is Candy Har angry for having her confidence betrayed by these people? Or is she afraid of what Don and Candace will do if they find out she's been sharing information about June 15th with outsiders? Information that doesn't follow the agreed upon script. It's anyone's guess at this point. If any of you are confused by all this talk about text messages between Candy Har and Emma of Crime Stories Obsessed, FaceTime chats that Candy Har allegedly had with a lady named Ziggy Valero, and now communications that a woman named Jessica said she's having with Candy Har, I thought we might all benefit from a comparison of what Har has allegedly told all three ladies. Let's go in chronological order. So I'll start with Emma of Crime Stories Obsessed. I'm only going to talk about the text messages that mention events of June 15th. So this will be just the highlights regarding the day Summer went missing. The text messages Emma published from Candy Har are from August of 2021. So about a month and a half after Summer vanished. Most of the texts are from Emma to Candy, but Candy does respond with some short replies, and once in a while she throws in some longer ones too. In the text, Har seems to stick to the Wells agreed upon script regarding June 15th. She says that they had to wake Summer up when they got home to Beach Creek. Summer ran around and helped her put her food away from the grocery store. The boys carried Candace's food to the house, and Summer helped Candace put the stuff away. She goes on to write that Summer helped Candace do a load of clothes. Then Candace came out and saw her, meaning Grandus, on her camper steps, and she told Candace that they need to put the cacti in the ground. She says Candace went and got Summer to help them. Grandus says she put ice on her knee. Summer put some small rocks around the cacti, as well as Chase from Paw Patrol, and then Summer had a piece of peppermint candy, and she went back to the house. Har says she and Candace watched Summer go in. Note that Candy Har does not write that Candace walked Summer over to the house in this text message. Har goes on to write that Candace went back inside the house and asked the boys where Summer was. They said she went downstairs to play. Candace yelled to the basement for Summer, but she didn't answer. So Candace went downstairs looking for Summer, and she came back up crying hysterically and said she can't find Summer. So they all went looking for the 5-year-old, and Candace called 911. She also called Donnie and let him know, and he too called 911. Candace called the cops first, according to Candy Har. Grandus goes on to say that Don plays mind games with Candace, and her being bipolar, she is standing by Don. I think she meant because Candace is bipolar, she is standing by her man, Don. Emma asks if everything was normal at the Wells house the night before Summer went missing, and if Don was acting weird or aggressive to Candace. Candy writes that Don got mad because Candace had a drink, but she put him in his place, and she, Har, went home. I think she means to say she went to her trailer. Then Candy Har tells Emma that Don has cheated on Candace before. When Emma asks if CPS was going to come and take Summer, and if she thought that Don would take Summer off somewhere to hide her, Har says this: "He may have, I don't know." Emma then asks Har what she ate. Har replies, "Tuna fish casserole," and she says the last thing Summer said to her was, "I love you, Grandma." It appears that Emma asks Candy Har when they arrived home on June 15th, and Grandus writes, about an hour and a half after that video. I think she means the video taken of Summer in the back seat, slouched against the milk gallons. Candy also says she wasn't in Tennessee when Summer's hair was shaved, so she doesn't know if that was done because of lice. Once Emma tells Candy Har that she has a YouTube channel, Candy is upset and cuts off their communication. Candy also tells Don and Candace that this is all a lie and that her account must have been hacked. Okay, so let's move on now to Ziggy Valero, who spoke to Critical K on her YouTube channel. Note that this Ziggy Valero person is not our beloved YouTuber Ziggy. Please do not get these two confused. Ziggy Valero is someone who sounds like an older lady who cozied up to Candy Har on her Facebook and weaseled her way into Candy's confidence. Valero said she was on FaceTime calls with Candy back in August of 2021, so that would be around the same time that Emma of Crime Stories Obsessed was chatting with Candy. Valero said she didn't record the FaceTime calls because she didn't know how to, but she did take notes. However, when Candy Har noticed Ziggy V taking notes, Har got mad and blocked her. So here's what Ziggy Valero told Critical K that Candy told her about June 15th. Again, I'm going to stick to the events surrounding that day and only the highlights. Candy Har says that Candace and Summer dropped her off at the hospital so that she could get her painful knee checked out. Then Candace and Summer went and got H. Next, Candace, H, and Summer went to the fishing hole, and that's where Summer swam. Candy was still at the hospital at this point, so she was not at the fishing hole. When Candace, H, and Summer came back to the hospital to pick her up, Har said that Summer wasn't feeling well and she was cold. Har went on to say that when she saw Summer pick up the bottle of orange soda in the back seat to take a swig, she shouted at the little girl to stop and gave Summer a bottle of water instead. They all went to the grocery store at some point, and then after shopping, they drove back to Allie's house and dropped H off. Candy said that Allie did not come to the truck. Candy Har said that Summer fell asleep on the ride back to 110 Ben Hill Road. Per the Ziggy V, Candace and Candy Har put the milk jugs in the truck next to Summer. Which doesn't make sense, though, if Summer was feeling unwell and cold, but Ziggy Valero isn't able to say why Candy and Candace put the milk there. Candy goes on to tell Ziggy V that Summer did not get out of the truck when they arrived home. The boys came and got the groceries. Candace told Candy that she was going to meet with Don to see if they should take Summer to the hospital. Candy said she went inside her camper around 3:30 p.m. to take a nap, and she says she heard Candace leave with Summer in her truck. Har then tells Ziggy V that the next thing she knew, after her nap, she heard Candace outside yelling for Summer, and Candace told her she couldn't find her little girl. Per Candy Har, Candace then called 911. Candy tells Ziggy V that the last time she saw Summer was when she was asleep in the truck. Note that Candy never says anything to Ziggy V about giving Summer a piece of peppermint candy or about them planting cacti that day. Ziggy V said that Candy told her all these things because they were weighing heavily on her, and she felt guilty for not telling law enforcement when she was initially interviewed. If we are to believe Ziggy Valero, Candy Har was feeling isolated and needed to tell someone and didn't feel that she could talk to Don and Candace. Okay, so what Ziggy V claims Candy told her differs significantly from what Candy told Emma. It appears that when writing to Emma, Candy is mostly following the family script, although she does question if Don may be involved. Candy tells Ziggy V a very different story, but one that includes the detail that Summer wasn't feeling well and was cold, and that she never got out of the truck once they arrived back home. So is this version of events more believable? It does share information about how Summer was feeling on June 15th, information that could indicate that something went very wrong with Summer's health that day. This seems more logical to me than an abduction of Summer from that isolated and steep hill. Okay, let's move on to Jessica and what she relays to the audience on Miss Daisy's channel, which is called Crime, Crazy, and Critters on the Farm. Now, I've been critical of Daisy for her shows about Rose Bly, and also for the shows with Jessica, or actually I think it was just one show with Jessica, because of her failure to produce proof. I stand by that criticism. But if it turns out that Jessica really was communicating with the real Candy Har, then I do apologize. However, I still say we need to see the proof before these shows are done. That way there's no doubt, there's no upset, everyone's happy, and everyone in the chat plays nice. Here's what Jessica says Candy Har told her. Har told Jessica she's tired of holding everything in. She said the grief is unbelievable. 2 days before Summer went missing, Candace and Don had a fight, and Summer came running to Candy's trailer. Candy told Jessica she gave Summer a piece of peppermint candy to calm her down. She said she often gave Summer peppermint candy when Don and Candace fought, and Summer would come running over to her trailer. Candy believed the peppermint had the power to calm children down. On the day Summer went missing, Summer was not feeling well and wanted to drink the orange soda in the truck. Grandus told Summer no because the soda was 3 weeks old. She gave Summer water instead, but Summer didn't drink it and she fell back asleep. When they arrived home, Summer was still sleeping and Candace went to wake her, but Summer's arms were limp. Candy Har said that she herself went straight to her camper to take a nap, even though Summer's arms were limp. Apparently she'd had morphine at the hospital as well as a shot, and she was out of it. She slept for 3 hours, according to Jessica, and when she woke up, Candace told her that Summer was gone and someone had taken her. Har, according to Jessica, does not. Candy also told Jessica that she never went to the fishing hole with Candace, H, and Summer on June 15th. She said that she was at the hospital when they went there. So this nap part, the bit about the orange soda, Summer not feeling well, and this part about Candy being at the hospital while Candace, H, and Summer were at the fishing hole, all match what Candy Har allegedly told Ziggy Valero. Candy also tells Jessica that Summer was half asleep when they came to pick her up at the hospital, and that she was completely asleep the whole time they were at the grocery store, so Summer was not watching TikToks with H in the car. Grandma Candy also stated that Candace propped Summer up with the box and the 2 gallons of milk. Har also told Jessica that Candace was yelling at her when she took the video of Summer sleeping against the milk, and Candace cut the yelling part of the video out before she published it. Har apparently explained that she'd had that morphine and a shot, and she was tired and needing to go to sleep at the time. And apparently all this information has been shared with the TBI, according to Miss Daisy, and I sure hope that's true, right? Candy Har also said that Don called Candace on June 15th when they were dropping H back off at his house. According to Candy, Don was apparently yelling at Candace for the way Summer was acting, and he wanted her to take Summer for medical care. When H asked Candace what Don was yelling about, Candace told him it's just the usual stuff. But Candy Har thought Don was yelling because of Summer's condition. Now, for me, the weird bit here is no one explains how Don knows at this point that Summer isn't feeling well. All we know is that Don called Candace at some point that day. There's no mention of Candace calling him and saying that Summer's unwell. So I'm not sure how that all went down. Candy Har tells Jessica that Candace told her that she took Summer to Don later that afternoon. But Candy tells Jessica she doesn't believe that. Candy also supposedly states that she found it strange that Don took the Subaru to work that day instead of his truck. Candy goes on to tell this Jessica person that when Candace and H came to pick her up at the hospital, they were both intoxicated, and she also stated that Candace drives drunk all the time. Candy also allegedly said that Candace didn't take Summer to a doctor because she was intoxicated. Har also told Jessica that Allie Harris saying she took H to a doctor's appointment that day is a lie because Allie never takes her kids to the doctor. Candy says that Candace messaged Don and told him Summer was kidnapped, and Candy thinks that Don really believes that Summer was taken, but she, Candy, believes Candace did something with Summer. Candy also told Jessica that Candace has a drug addiction. And the way she worded it, it sounded like she has a drug addiction right now and that this is not about a previous addiction to meth. Jessica said that Candy was online as she was being interviewed by Daisy, but she wasn't sure if Candy was in the live chat. Candy expressed upset to Jessica that people automatically accuse and attack her about Summer's disappearance because of her own missing daughter, Rosemary Bly. Candy allegedly told Jessica that she was not upset about the show Miss Daisy did on Rose Bly and mentioned how much the photos of the alleged alive Rosemary Bly look like her daughter. Har said she'd love to message Daisy about this supposed Rose Bly. Jessica also said Candy is staying at 110 Ben Hill Road right now. Candy also allegedly did not say that this Julie Letts was her niece. In fact, according to Jessica, she supposedly said that this Julie person is not her niece. Now, this is something that I find weird because we know for a fact those photos show Rose's cousin, Julie. So this seems like more game playing by Candy Har. She has to know the truth about who those photos are of. So I'm calling this part of what Candy told Jessica baloney. Candy also told her that she's alone all the time at 110 Ben Hill Road because Candace keeps going out drinking with all these YouTubers. I think she might be referring to Colonel Ernie Shell of the Kentucky Militia. Candy also allegedly told Jessica that she's not allowed to have any contact with the Wells boys, and Candace is not allowed contact either. Now, I'm going to end this here because, honestly, my butt hurts from sitting and re-listening to all these interviews and videos, and my head is reeling too from all the lies, the game playing by Don, Candace, and Candy Har. Honestly, I don't know who to believe at this point. I am trusting in one of my sources, however, who always seems to have her hand on the pulse of what's really happening, and she's leading me to believe that Jessica may indeed have been speaking to the actual Candy Har. I hope this video helped clarify things for you and didn't make things more confusing. I'll be giving you a multiple choice quiz in a moment. Until the next time on Bed Crime Stories. Now, please hit that like button on the way out, subscribe if you haven't yet done so, share, and leave me a comment. Also, if you want to support my channel and YouTube journey, please check out my humble jewelry store on Etsy. It's called Atelier Saint-Remy, and I named it after my black one-eyed cat, Remy. It's spelled Atelier Saint Remy. I'm trying to support myself by following my creative joys, writing, storytelling, and jewelry making.